welcome back to my channel. I actually thought of what I would like to name my channel with every video I post, and I recently saw a video, or no, it was a podcast of an individual, believe her name was Sarah, who had visions because she died and came back to life, visions of the future, and she saw horrible calamities, but at the same time she saw cities of light. And I kind of feel like that's what I'm doing anyways. I'm preparing to either begin or help to create or join a city of light. And that includes, waking up your mind and your body to truth and to light. It also includes getting yourself ready, preparing in all sorts of ways. So today's video, I'm going to talk about something that we all can do that's pretty easy to do. It's pretty cheap still, even as food prices are high, to buy a big bag of rice or oats or some kind of grain that would keep for a long time. And there are lots of easy ways for you to store it. The common thing that I've done in the past has been number 10 cans, but today I'm going to show you something different. If you have any of these kinds of jars lying around in your house, don't throw them away or even recycle them for yourself. This is a jar of tomato, like pasta sauce that I buy. I think it's just the organic, great value, whatever it is. All you need to do is measure the top, and I will attach the link to a product that you can buy that seals that, because this is a unique size jar. And so there is a foam paper product that will seal down when it's pressurized on top of the jar. So all you need to do is fill this can up, or this jar up, with rice or oats or whatever you want that's a dry good. Because I don't have a mason jar type sealed lid for this, and I don't want to go to the trouble of buying a vacuum sealer, which aren't really all that effective over time anyways. All I'm going to do is take a 300 cc oxygen pack and throw that into the jar on top of the rice, and use that that seal that I'm going to show you next, and close the jar, and that's it. So easy. Another technique, and I'll show you these in just a sec, is to buy these Mylar bags. You can buy them online. I have a place here nearby in my town that I can buy them for. I think this one's less than $1. I think it's like 30 cents, maybe 50 cents. And you do the same technique. You fill it with your dry goods. You throw in oxygen pack or two, depending on the size, and I'll show you that too. You seal that with heat. You try to get as much air out as you can, and that's it. It really isn't that complicated. Okay, here are the empty jars that I'll be using. I just bought these as tomato pasta sauce. It's the Great Value brand. I'm sure this is a very common size. It is I measured the top, and I bought the appropriate size. I measured it at 58 millimeters. It's I think it's about close to 2.5 inches. And I just bought these online. And these are, I honestly haven't done a ton of research, but I know how they work, and that's all I need to know. So you just take these, it's just like what you'd buy on the top of a spice. So it's the same thing that comes on top of like a spice jar, that you open the lid and then you pull off the seal, or supplements, you open the lid and you pull off the seal on the inside. So it's the same thing. It's a paper foam. I honestly don't know how it works, but it's the only way that I could figure out to actually reuse these jars and not just throw them out and store my food long term. So what I'm gonna do is just fill up. I have 10 Oh, let's see, where did I put them? I have 10 oxygen absorbers, 300 cc's, I believe. I've already filled 6 or 7 of my jars. I have 10 total. And I'm just simply, I filled these months ago. I'm gonna fill some empty ones with these jars that I use that don't have oxygen absorbers or a good seal. So I need to redo these. Anyways, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna open these back up, put the oxygen absorber in, put the seal on, and just close it. So simple, so easy, and it should last for a very, very long time. I would guess 20 years. So once it's sealed in and it's got the oxygen absorber, you're good. So, all right, let's get going. So it's really important when you use oxygen absorbers to realize that once you open the pack, you have this short window. You have about 20 to 30 minutes max. And I learned this doing the Mylar bags. You might want to put extra oxygen absorbers if you're taking a while in the last several packs that you're doing, because they are wearing off as time goes on. So I'm going to try to do this fairly quickly and be all ready to go before I want to throw these in. I'm going to open up all these jars, throw in the pack quickly. Hopefully, yeah, it should fit just fine. And I probably need to remove some of the food from them because I filled them really full to be able to fit that in. And then I'm just going to put that seal on, and hopefully I can do that in just like a few minutes and be done. Okay.
Want to live a full life, tired of feeling unfulfilled every night. I'm not afraid of sacrifice, I'm not afraid to fight. I'm not afraid to go after my birthright, no.
And just to note real quick, if you want to use a jar like this, all you have to do is look up the size of that jar opening and order the correct size, and you could still use these jars. I only ordered this size, so that's why I'm transferring. Okay, one more thing I wanted to say is I actually accidentally forgot that I had put an oxygen absorber in this one, and just simply closed the lid. And when I opened it, it popped. It was sealed, and that thing was pushed down. But I don't know how long that would have lasted, because this seal isn't a great seal. So it probably wouldn't have lasted for but it's lentils, so it probably would have been just fine. Anyways, I'm about to do it. It's all lined up. Of course, being sterile is really important. I already fully washed in hot water. I didn't put it in the oven or anything like that, but I made sure, and if you want to take that extra precaution, that's probably not a bad idea. But it's all pretty darn clean. You just want to make sure the rims are clean and dry. And I'm about to go for it. I'm all lined up here, and I'm just gonna open this up, stick the oxygen pack into each one, and get these seals ready to go, and put them on top. I don't know if they're stuck on because they got shipped that way, probably. Yeah, so I'm just gonna stick it on like that. Here, let's see. Hopefully that fits. Okay, well, they're a little bit smaller than I was hoping for. It doesn't fit exactly around the rim, but it is making contact with the edge. So I'm gonna call it good. If I use these size jars again, I might order one tiny bit size bigger, and I suppose you could even cut it if you had to. But I'm gonna call that good enough. It's definitely making contact with the rim. So, okay.
All right, here we go. Working quickly. Gosh, I don't know how important it is, how far I see that. So it's gonna be like, that one's gonna be easier.
Fighting for freedom.
10 for 10.
Fighting for freedom. Fighting for freedom.
Amazing. Here we go. It's the pressure of these seals. That seals them. In fact, I accidentally pushed one on just with my hand, and it sealed. I couldn't get it back up without a knife.
Oh, wow.
So be careful with, where you're placing it and how hard down you push. Isn't this cool?
Amazing.
See that one? That one's just stuck. It's the same one that was stuck last time.
And how long are these good for?
I mean, like forever.
That's a long time.
Probably for 20 years. And when you're 40, that's your. I guess
So
you're
I've
any
lived
of that.
forever twice
Yes.
and then some.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
This is the program. See that? What was that? Like 2 minutes of oxygen absorber pack exposure.
225,
not
226,
bad. Not bad at all.
227.
Done.
Sign
Okay.
off.
These will last probably 20 years. Awesome.
Okay.
I went ahead and tightened these as much as I could after I was done videoing. And I just want to show you real quick what you can do with Mylar bags. It's the same principle. I would just fill this up all the way as high as I could with rice or beans or whatnot, some kind of dry good. Then, again, you get it all ready. Open your bag of oxygen absorbers. Throw in however many, I'll put a chart down below. Probably 500 cc's, probably 500 cc, maybe 1,000 for a bag this size. And you fill it up as much as you can with your dry food. And then you push out, this is what I did a bunch of these. You push out as much air as you can, and you take an already preheated curling, what is this called? Flat iron.
It's hot.
Hot flat iron, and you go across the top like this and seal it in nice and slowly, and just make sure those two sides are fully come together. Sometimes I'll even go like that and just totally make sure that it's all the way sealed. Then if you've done a really good job, it should look kind of sucked in the next day. I talked to somebody who is an expert in food storage and said, if there's still a little bit of air in the bag and it didn't get all the way sucked in, it's probably still okay. There could still be air in there, but it's the oxygen content that matters. So she said she had a bag that wasn't all the way sucked in of oats, and she said it still looked kind of puffy the next day. And this is like first-hand experience. She opened it after 20 years, and they were fine. They weren't stale at all. So because I made a bunch that had, in fact, let me show you real quick, that had a little bit of air still in it, right? It's not all the way sucked in. But I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it. These were organic raw almonds I got from Robin Openshaw. I got a whole big bunch of them, so found a way to store them for probably 20 plus years.
Hooray.
Okay.